Gotta wait till this kicks in, and we are about to be live. It says it's receiving your content. We're waiting. I'll get used to this. This is gonna go a hell of a lot smoother on like my 10th go round. It says get ready. And we are live. It's puck time. It's Wednesday. Buster Sports and Andrew McGinnis with us. Excited to have you all. Yesterday was our first live show. It was so exciting and so much fun to do this with all of you guys commenting. Today, 4 NHL games on the board. Buster Sports and Andrew McGinnis joining us. Buster from wagertalk.com. Andrew from Sports Memo. And Buster, you lost your 5% last night. Sorry about that. Really was never close.
No, it never was. But I mean, again, when you have the number one power play, having a 5-on-3, not scoring, 2 for 14, I think it was in the power plays last night. Again, in my write-up, I said the last time they were in Dallas, they went 1 for 9. That was 2-1. The other game, when they played same kind of setup, it was 5-4, 5.5. I really liked it over, and you know what? It happens. It didn't get there, and we live to fight another day.
Yeah, we can't win them all.
It's unfortunate that it was the $2 handicapper. It's very unfortunate, and believe me, I got the grief in my DM box. But you know what? This game is called gambling. It's not called win every day, and sometimes things happen, right?
I'm the Prez. Buster Sports with us. Andrew McGinnis, how did you do last night?
It was a subpar night. It was about an even night. One of those nights where I hit my lower percentage plays and didn't hit my 3 and 4% ones. So one of those nights, I actually had the same play that Buster had as well, but the puck just wouldn't bounce our own way. It's tough to take overs with Dallas anytime, but I was more so just riding the fact that Edmonton has an insanely fast team right now. They're going over with everybody. I also had the over in the Minnesota game, and Prez, I felt like you there. I mean, I think it was 0 for 9 Minnesota went on the power play. I mean, with how bad of a spot that was for Nashville, I probably should have just taken Minnesota, but you've been telling us about some of your power play spots you've been having. They went 0 for 9 Minnesota. They won 3-1, but they went 0 for 9 on the power play.
Yeah, Buster, I have had an absolute freaking nightmare with these power play. I went 28 power plays in a row without one single goal. Do you know what the record is for power play ineptness?
Yeah, no, I have no idea, Prez, but I tell you that is pretty bad. And it's very tough, as you guys both know. It's very tough in this league. If you got a good 5-on-5 club, and you're scoring, it's you're going to do well. Edmonton's a team that counts on that power play because 5-on-5, they're not that good, and they have, of course, a great penalty kill. They're both in the top 5 in both those areas. But yeah, it's tough when you're betting overs and you're not getting some power play goals. It's very tough to get that total to go over. But believe me, as I tell you right here, this is an over league, and we both. Andrew, I know you've been bit by it, and Prez, you have too. When these games now, these coaches, they will pull their goalie. We will be talking about a game right off the bat. There's coaches that pull their goalie 3 minutes. So if it's a 3-2 game, 5-2's in the cards.
Yeah,
right.
If you had the Leafs last night, the under in the Leafs game, that was rough. Last night, the Sharks and Leafs game. If you had the under in that game, I feel sorry for you. Because it's the same thing Buster's talking about, that empty net at the end there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, Andrew, with those games, I actually had the over, but they're going to be pulling their goaltender. That's automatic, 2 minutes. Back in the day, you never pulled your goaltender unless there was a minute, so it made it that much tougher. And that's why you see nowadays, too, how many teams you see tie it up in extra time. Because they've got that. Maybe there's some kind of algorithm, or I don't know what they're doing, like logistics kind of thing, where they basically know that it's better to pull their goaltender with 2 minutes, that you got more of a chance to win that game, because it's happening now the last 2 years. Before, it was never happening. But now, like I say, you see guys all the time. Like I say, a 3-2 lead, you think, when I had an under 6.5 and a 3-2 lead with 3 minutes left, it was a winner. No more.
Boys, let's get to it. 4 games on tap. We're going to take them all apart, start to finish. I went 1-1 yesterday. I had the over in the Dallas game, just like you, Buster. I lost it, but I had the Vegas Golden Knights
so
minus.
we were all on that.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I had the Vegas
tough for all of us.
I had the Vegas Golden Knights minus 1.5, so I did get a winner in. I have a 5% play up tonight. We'll have a promo code for everybody shortly. Just a quick shout out to all our new customers. They're not our new customers yet. They're our listeners, soon to become our new customers. We got a big new customer deal going on today. We're going to actually be doing promo codes all week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for new customers. Our regular week price is $119. I took $70 off of that price. 70. It's only $49. Head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code PZ49. That's PZ49. And you get $70 off. That's only $49 for a week of anyone's plays. So if you've never purchased from us before, now is a perfect time to begin. Okay, boys, Washington at home minus 150, playing Philadelphia. The over and under here is 6.5. Andrew, I'm going to go to you first on this game. Philly is absolutely in the zone right now. They've won 6 in a row, 7 of their last 8, 8 of their last 10, and they're beating decent teams along the way. No incredible teams, but the Rangers were playing unbelievable hockey until they met the Flyers. They beat Winnipeg. They beat Columbus. Washington, they had a 4-game losing streak, but have put it back together after a win against Minnesota. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. For me, I think Washington in regulation is the play here, and I do lean on the over, but I'm not going to get to the window on this total. What do you like, my friend?
Well, Prez, the old-fashioned saying, big-time players make big-time plays. That's pretty much exactly what we've been seeing right now out of the Philadelphia Flyers. They're bigger players, like Sean Couturier, have been stepping up and making the big plays, and that's why they're doing so well right now. They're making a surge for the playoffs, and it's looking pretty promising at this point. But, just like yourself, I look at the last time these two teams met, it was 7-2. I opened up this game last night going over the card. Initial gut leans are over and Washington, but the more I dive into it, the more I realize that Washington is the price that they are for a reason. First of all, they are a bounce back team. They lost 7-2 back on February 8th. That is not something that they are going to forget about. And also, like you said, this is a team that has kind of been up and down in that type of thing. And they got shut out against Winnipeg, and that wasn't really a bet on spot for them. They go ahead and win 4-3 against Minnesota. I think this is a bet on spot for Washington here. I like the regulation as well, or even the puck line at a ridiculously good price. I think you can get it at plus 65. Look, this is one of those ones. Are Philadelphia pretenders or are they contenders? That's what we have to find out right now. And I don't know if they're really still on the level of Washington, even though they're on their little streak here. Keep in mind, Washington Capitals are hosting this game, and I feel like they get the job done. So I like them, and you literally can't go wrong betting an over right now with this Philadelphia Flyers team. 7 of their last 9 games have gone over, and 5 straight games on the road. So I lean to the over, but I do like Washington to win this game here after following a 7-2 loss against
He's
Philly.
Andrew McGinnis from sportsmemo.com. Guys listening live, feel free to make comments in the comment section. I'm reading them, and I will respond to as many as I can. Buster, I'm with Andrew here on Washington. What do you like, my friend?
Okay, well, I'm not totally against you guys, but I'm not with you on Washington here. I can't stand in front of this Flyers team that's won 6 in a row. I am with Andrew on the over here. Flyers are 9-1-1 in their last 11 over in their last 11 games. The over for Washington is 8-1-1 in the Eastern Conference. They just played a 7-2 game here. They've got lots of guys that can put the puck in the net. Washington's had a few days off, and they grabbed that Brendan Dillon from San Jose, and they've got Kovalchuk from Montreal, and he's probably going to play with Ovechkin on the power play. And Washington's power play hasn't really been the best, and Washington really hasn't been playing the best of late. And the big part of that last game, I know, Andrew, you said you looked into it. I was looking into the game as well. And what I found very, very strange was that Philadelphia, killed them in the face-offs. They won 40-17. And that's very, very tough to do, as you guys know, when you're the road club. It's against you. So the Flyers before this, they had lost. Washington always had beat them. Now the Flyers have won the last 2 games. Problem here for me that why I can't take Philadelphia is because of that 7-2 game. Because of the revenge factor there. Washington, it's a mental thing, and they're ready to play this game. I think Philly would be, if it wasn't for that 7-2 game, probably would be good value. I think they're getting 135 or 140 here. But it's going to be interesting for both these clubs. Both these clubs are going to make the playoffs, I believe. And I don't know if they'll hook up together. I think it's looking right now maybe Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. But it'll be very interesting to see, because if they do hook up, I'll tell you, when the playoff times come, guys, I will be taking Philadelphia here, because I really like Alain Vigneault, especially when he gets the playoff times. Now, I know for you, Andrew, that you might be a little bit young when he was with our Habs, but this guy took Vancouver and the Rangers in the last 10, 12 years to the Stanley Cup final. So problem is, it's going to be very tough for a Philadelphia team, even if they got by a Washington or Pittsburgh. There's too many teams in that division, like Tampa Bay and Boston. It's going to be really tough. But I am impressed with what they're doing. I agree with you, Andrew. I'm on the over here. And because let me just one more point. Because of what I was talking about at the start of the show, Alain Vigneault, that guy's pulling the goalie at 3 minutes left. So even if it's 3-1, I see in a couple of his games this year, 3-1 end up 5-2. Because he pulls a goalie 3-2 with about 3 minutes left. They pull the goalie again, 4-2. He'll pull the goalie again, 5-2. He's not like DeBoer the other night. He had pulled their goalie when it was 4-1. And then I don't know what made him not, if he's going to pull him, right? But then he put him back in for the last 2 minutes of that LA King Vegas game. So there are guys in this league that now will just pull that goaltender all the time, and that's good for anybody that plays overs, which I'm an over guy. So over 6.5 for me.
Buster, that was as long-winded as Carmine yesterday, but very impressive nevertheless.
I'm sorry, Prez. I watched yesterday's show, and you did tell Carmine to keep it to 1 or 2 minutes. So
no, dude, you can talk all day long. Listen, everybody. I was having some issues with the chat earlier. It wasn't showing up on the dashboard, but now I'm on YouTube and I see the chat. Good luck, left leg. I'm seeing it now. Oscar Hernandez, love how we have Carmine, Andrew, and Vivian on the comments. Yeah. Hey, Viv, what are we doing tonight? I'm thinking episode 9 of Hunters. For all you guys out there, Hunters. Oh, my God. There has never been a show this good. I mean, this show is better than freaking Game of Thrones. It's on Amazon Prime. It is so highly recommended. Episode 8, I admit, I watched last night. Yes, Elliot, Hunters is awesome. I bawled my freaking eyes out. I will say that live on this show. Tears were dripping down my face during episode. Johnny Detroit, our great leader, commenting about Buster being hungover. No, Buster's hung, I'm told, but not hungover. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, Guys, watch Hunters. Hunters. It's on Amazon Prime. And yes, Elliot, you cried too. And yes, Johnny, I'm off topic on a rant. Bugger off. Anyway, boys, real quick, a huge new customer deal. Get $70 off a week of anyone's plays. Anyone's plays. Akeem Profits. VR is absolutely rolling. Buster in NHL, rolling. My college basketball, ridiculous. You guys can get $70 off a week of anyone's plays. Use the promo code PZ49. It's for new customers only. Boys, Columbus versus Calgary, and Calgary is at minus 185 with a total of 5.5. This Columbus team is a whole different can of worms since Seth Jones disappeared. This team's going over the total on a regular basis. Calgary is playing to the over as well. I like the over in this game. And Andrew, I like Calgary as well. Look, I know Torts gets his team ready, but this team is just undermanned. There just is not enough talent on this team. I think ultimately they will fall out of the playoff picture. They've lost 8 of 10, although they did beat Vancouver with an incredible come-from-behind victory. And Calgary, I just think they're better in every way. I like Calgary here, and I like over the total. Regale us, Mr. McGinnis.
Definitely, Columbus, since Seth Jones went out, their injuries, there's just a huge list of them. Then Merzlikins goes down. There's just too many guys that were out for them. I just have a feeling on this road trip, even though most of the time I say as a road trip progresses, we'll see an over streak, I feel like the goals will run out for this Columbus team. And I'm kind of happy that I saw a 6 pop up at most shops rather than the 5.5. I feel like if you wanted to bet over in this game, the 5.5 would have been your best bet. I can't see 7 or 8 goals in this one. I like the under in this one. I think Calgary has to get better at playing consistent defensive games because we saw what happened in the playoffs last year to them, guys. I mean, first of all, they got way too out-roughed. I mean, they're not strong enough, so you have to be able to play good defensive hockey, and you can't be out there playing pond hockey every night. So they have to be able to play good defensive games, and this might be one of those where we see maybe a 2 or 3-1 contest. And I feel like Columbus might be riding a little bit of a high after their win against Vancouver. And, I think Calgary in regulation is definitely a good option here for them. But I'll tell you right up, I'd be pretty impressed if Columbus gets out of this road trip 500 even, it would be pretty impressive for them. And I want to say just real quick about the last game we were talking about, to the point for Philadelphia, they have been dominating in their division, in their Metropolitan Division and their conference. So although I like Washington, I really wanted to mention the fact that they've been, I think it's like 6-1 their last 7 against the Metro.
Buster, John X just commented Columbus are 8-1 in Calgary. And, we hear a lot of that stuff all the time. I mean, you talk about it. Alex talks about it. I mean, to me, it's like, I'm guessing Columbus hasn't played in Calgary this year. So what they did with Panarin and Bobrovsky and Seth Jones and the team from last year, it's just irrelevant to me. I don't really care. And frankly, without Seth Jones, this Columbus team isn't the same team as it was a month ago. Where are you going with this, my friend?
I agree that they're not the team they were a month ago for sure. They actually have only won 2 games in 12. I know they're picking up a lot of points here and there, like because they're going to overtimes and shootouts and that. That is true. They have won 8 of the last 9 times here, and yeah, it doesn't really mean much, but it seems if you watch this kind of thing, it seems for some reason it does. But what does mean a little bit here is that Calgary's only won 1 game in their last 7 at home. They came off this road trip. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. They coming off that road trip, they had a good road trip, but they're only 4-4 in their last 8 games. The first game together it doesn't really matter, although Columbus dominated and Rittich stood on his head, saving 43 shots. But my point here for me is that Calgary just first game home back. Also, they're sitting on I think they play 5 more games at home. And also, I just with Columbus, what happened last game for them to come
Yeah.
back like that? I really think that they're going to show a lot of momentum this game because of that. And I know they're down all these guys, even Oliver Borkstrand. He's hurt now, so the goals will be hard to come by for them. But I just think that they're going to be in this game tonight because they're on they have to play in Calgary and in Edmonton and then Vancouver. So it's on that tough road trip, and they've had some time off here. So I'm going to take a little flyer on Columbus in this spot. The total, Andrew, you said you got a 6. I like it under 6. You might want it over 5. I mean, it's right around that number. So the total will be a pass for me. But I definitely like to take a shot on Columbus as a little flyer because this is the game that they can win on this road trip. The other ones might be too tough for them. And I can really see Calgary just coming out a little flat tonight. And maybe Columbus jumps on them early, and it's tough for them to get it back.
So much to talk about. Just want to race through a few comments. Yes, Juan Carlos Lopez. Buster is going for the record again. As for The Wire, I did like it. It was a bit slow, but unbelievable acting. I mean, my God, and especially where those actors went after that. Roulette God, as for Hunters being trash, listen, I mean, I get it, dude. Some like him fat, some like him skinny. Some like him tall, some like him short. Respect, my brother. Thank you guys for logging on and watching. And Elliot, yes. Johnny, yes. I am whipped. I am whipped, and I am proud. You want a happy life, guys? Here's my advice. Just let your woman rule. Nothing can go wrong. Buster, before we get into the next game, next week on Wednesday, I want you to come on the show. I want you to find your best bet, period. The number one bet you have. And if it loses, you are going to shave your mustache.
Okay, what's the deal on your side then, Prez?
No deal. I'll grow a mustache.
Well, that's not a big deal.
Oh, it is for Vivian. Especially given that I'm completely whipped. She'll be like, mustache off. I'm like, but it was a bet with Buster. She's like, yeah, I think you might want to take your mustache off. I'm like, mustache off now. Okay, boys, make sure to check out our new customer deal, $70 off a week of anyone's plays. Use the promo code PZ49. Let's get to this Colorado Anaheim game. Andrew, we'll go to you first. Colorado minus 312, not 310, not 315, 312. The over and under is 5.5 in this game. Back-to-back games. Colorado beat Detroit 2-1 last night. And while Anaheim, well, they barely beat anybody. They lost to Chicago 6-2. I think this game is going over the total, Andrew. Why don't you tell us your thoughts?
Well, it's looking like we're going to see Frank Hughes in nets tonight, and I believe that was one of the main reasons why the numbers weren't out overnight for the total or the side. But minus 300, that's a big price to lay there, Prez. I want to bring up a pretty interesting point about this Avalanche team, though. I know that you've been talking about the unders with them. When their injuries started to pile up, I was talking unders as well. The Avalanche are riding a season-high 7-game winning streak. However, in that span, they're scoring the 4th fewest goals in the entire league at 2.29 a game. So that they're really proving right now that you do not need to score 4 or 5 a game to be successful. And, to me, I'm actually feeling better about that than I am about them winning 5-4 games, honestly. The defensive hockey that we've seen out of them and the fact that Michael Hutchinson is actually playing on a team that has good defense now, he proved that he's actually a decent goaltender. And they go out there and have a pretty good win.
Oh, please, dude. Shut up.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, come on, man. He's a decent goaltender. Yeah, it was the fact that he was backing up the Leafs that allowed him to let in the softest crap of all time.
Well, how did he look in his last game?
Oh, please. Every blind squirrel finds a nut. Every clock is right once or twice a day, depending on whether it's digital or analog.
He only had saved 17 shots.
Andrew. Shut up, Andrew. Hutch. What do you like in this play? Move on from the Hutch crap.
Colorado puck line, and I do like the over like yourself at the 5.5 mark.
Buster, left leg agrees. Hutch is good. I mean, listen, I'm sure he's good, just not at hockey. What do you think, Buster?
He literally was so good in the AHL.
Oh, Andrew, we're done with you now, Andrew.
He played for the Leafs.
Andrew, we need to allot the 15 minutes that Buster needs to make a 1-minute point.
Prez, you've met me enough times. I tend to go on a bit. I will try not to this time. Although I'm going to say one thing about Hutch there. Yeah, you have to be good to be in the NHL. So there's no doubt he's good. But like we talked on this show before, there's AHL good and there's NHL good. He is AHL good. End of story. As far as what I like here, I'm going against my buddy Andrew here. I like Anaheim plus 1.5 on the puck line tonight. They got a little embarrassed last night, but they play Colorado well. And what Andrew said is a very key point. Colorado's not scoring a lot of goals. And Anaheim's, I think they lost 1-0 the last time at home. They beat them in Colorado. They've been playing well in Colorado. And I think Colorado is in a little bit of a look-ahead spot because they have that dreaded 3 games in 4 nights starting Friday night. And they could come out a little bit flat here, kind of like I think Calgary's going to. So my play is Anaheim plus 1.5. I hope that's good enough for you, Press.
Thanks, my brother. That was not bad at all. And yes, Missy, thanks for pointing out the promo code is PZ49. For all people who actually speak the mother tongue, it's PZ49. For you Americans, it is PZ49. That's $49 for 7 days of plays. Every single handicapper. You pick that handicapper, they're yours. All access 7 days. Boys, I got a 5% play up tonight in hockey. It's my first one in a while. I'm on a 16-4 5% run. I do have a promo up for only you guys. Thanks, Buster. NHL 20. The regular price is $40. It's yours for 20. NHL 20. Let's get into the next game. Arizona Coyotes against the Vancouver Canucks. Arizona zigzagging. One lost one, lost one. So that means they're in shape to lose. Vancouver without their goaltender, really struggling. Let 4 in against Columbus, 5 in against Columbus, 4 in against Toronto, 5 in against Ottawa. They've lost 3 games in a row. They're going under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 7 games. And yet we have a 5.5, and I think, Andrew, will go to you first. That's largely because Arizona plays to the under here. I like Vancouver a lot, minus 110. I think they're the play tonight, Andrew.
100%. I agree with you. I think this is a spot here where you're looking at the last couple of games at a small scale. I always talk about having a short memory when you bet this game, but at the same time, you got to also trust your instinct. And I feel like after 2 subpar, pretty poor games from Vancouver, this is an opportunity to bounce back here. And Thatcher Demko hasn't been at its best. Like you said, their goaltending issues have kind of showed over the past little while. I feel this is the game that can really get it going. Arizona has proven to us all season long they don't have much depth. They went out and got Taylor Hall. The team, guys, has been worse since they picked up Taylor Hall than better. How unbelievable is that?
Also, they had goalie issues, dude. They lost their number 1 goalie at the same time, give or take.
Yeah, but
and wait, time out. They don't have Hutch. He's really good and all. Hutch.
Soft spot there with that one. But I got to say, I really feel like they're going to get it together here tonight. Also, look at Tyler Toffoli, anytime goal scorer or over 1.5 points tonight. He's been an absolute staple ever since he joined this team, and I don't think he shows any signs of slowing down. And I've been betting a lot of prop bets these days. So I like Vancouver to get the job done. And I don't think you can go wrong with the over 5.5 here either.
Buster Sports, I've got my phone in hand because I'm looking up Vivian's parlay. So you can talk for as long as you want. 30 seconds.
It'll be a little bit more than 30 seconds. I am against you guys in this game. I'm going to be on Arizona, and I know they've been terrible on the road, 1-10, their last 11. But they still are at 500 for the year. So they have had a big victory the other game for them. They haven't on Saturday. So now they haven't played since Saturday. They get this 3-game road trip, but the scheduler's done them well because they get a day off in between every game in Vancouver, Calgary, and Winnipeg. So they get that day off in between, which is a big help. I'm looking for Tocchet to get these guys going like he did last year, and they came on like gangbusters. The only difference this year is that they're sitting right in a playoff spot almost. They're just out by a couple points, I believe. As Prez was saying, Darcy Kemper's back tonight. 2.17 goals against, 929. Demko has not been good. He's been better at home. But the big thing for me is Vancouver losing that game Sunday. Did you guys, anybody read the comments from these guys? That Travis Green, he's saying we played 50 minutes and we should have won. We won that game. I can't believe and then I think it was Brandon Suter saying it was gut wrenching. This Vancouver team for you, Andrew, has young superstars up and coming, but they're young. And I look for this team on a loss like that, they might lose 3 or 4 more games. It was the way they talk. A veteran team don't talk like that. Young teams talk like that. And I think Tocchet's going to get this Arizona team going. And I will predict here, Arizona is going to get one of those playoff spots. It's going to be maybe the last game of the year. But I'd like Arizona tonight to beat Vancouver. And they've got 2 more games coming up with them as well. So they'll be all big games.
I love doing this show live. You guys are hilarious. Abdul just rolled and smoked one in the time that you were talking. Carm heated up 2 Hot Pockets. Listen, guys, next Wednesday, we're going to have a puck time. It's going to be with Carmine and Buster. There'll be 2 games on board, so book 3 hours. Anyway, boys, it's Vivian's parlay time, and then we'll give out the promo codes again, and thank you all. Vivian placed a $10 parlay to win $40 on the over in Colorado. Colorado minus 330 and Washington minus 150. That's Colorado at minus 330, Washington minus 150, and the over in the Colorado game. $10 pays 40. Elliot, next time you get a girlfriend, don't tattoo her name on your body. That'll be number 2. At least wait till you're like 50. Anyway, make sure to play my 5% NHL play tonight. It's half price to all of you listeners. NHL 20 is the code. And all you guys who have never purchased from us before, please use the promo code PZ49. It's $49 for a week of all plays. It is an absolute privilege to do this show, and it is even better to do it live. I feel way more connected to my audience, our audience. I'm reading all of these things. Mike, I'm glad you like Vivian's parlay. Make sure to follow her at VPresman. And you need
Prez,
Vivian on the. There are the guns,
thing,
Elliot. Look, there's the gun right there for you people. I'm out, boys. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Prez.
We'll get to you. Dave Koken and Alex B. Smith. What do you want, Buster? Should we set aside 20 minutes?
Just one. This is good. Just one quick shout out. I want to give a quick shout out to Kelly. How lucky was that last night, or how great was that she got to go to the Vegas Knights game and run that horn in between periods. That was awesome. And if anybody's been to Vegas for a game there, it's fantastic. And she got to get the crowd going. I just thought that was great. And I just wanted to give her a shout out, Prez. That's all.
Here he goes again. Hey, that wasn't too long, Scott. And you know what? I didn't even know about that. So, or was that here he goes again with me flexing my bicep? Who knows? Boys, we'll see you all tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all so much for joining us. I absolutely love it. Be well, everybody.